You remember Joseph? He's this young boy, and he has 11 older brothers, and the 11 older brothers hate him. And they actually take him, intend to kill him, but then have a change of mind and sell him into slavery. So he goes into slavery in this land called Egypt. Now he's bought by this captain, and he's made master of his house. But then the captain's wife accuses Joseph of trying to take advantage of her sexually, and Joseph is cast into prison. Now, when he's in prison, since God is blessing everything he does, the prison guard actually puts Joseph over the prison. And there's two people from Pharaoh that used to serve Pharaoh that came into the prison because Pharaoh was angry at them for some reason. Now they both had dreams. Joseph interprets both of the dreams. He tells the baker he would be killed, the butler he would be restored. And he told the butler, hey, remember me, tell Pharaoh about me. The butler is like, yes, I will, but guess what? When the butler was restored, he forgot. And so Joseph sits in that prison 2 more years. And then finally, the butler remembers after Pharaoh has a dream, and Joseph is brought, interprets Pharaoh's dreams, is made ruler over the land. Now we fast forward to the end of the story. When there's a great famine, Joseph's brother come to him, and after Joseph reveals himself and brings his father and all of his family, and they dwell in Egypt, the father dies. So the brothers are like, man, Joseph, he's going to take revenge on us. So they go to Joseph, and Joseph's like, guys, what you meant for evil, God meant for good. Now, let me ask you something. What bad happened to Joseph? I mean, was there anyone or anything against Joseph? You say, yes, his brothers. They sold him into slavery in Egypt. Well, were they for Joseph or against Joseph? Matters how you look at it, right? Potiphar's wife, or the captain's wife, who accused Joseph of trying to rape her, was she for Joseph or against Joseph? Matters how you look at it, right? See, in the Christian's life, actually, nothing is against him. Everything is for him. And that's what Paul is telling us. Look at our text. Romans 8:31. What shall we say to these things? If God is for us, who can be against us? So first of all, what does Paul mean when he says, what shall we say to these things? What things is he referring to? Well, he's referring to what he just taught. Remember, back in verse 28, he says, and we know that all things work together for good to those who love God, to those who are called according to his purpose, because those he foreknew, he also predestined to be conformed to the image of his son, that he might be the firstborn among many brethren. And those he predestined, these he also called. Those he called, these he also justified. Those he justified, these he also glorified. So Paul has just been telling us, for the Christian, for the one who has been predestined, foreknown and predestined from all eternity past, for those who are God's, since the day they are born, every detail in their life is working for their good until their ultimate glorification with Jesus Christ. Every single minute detail in their lives, those that we are not even aware of, they're working together for our good. And not only are they good, they're the absolute best thing ordained by the infinitely wise God who knows all potentials. This is amazing. Listen, if you are a Christian, if you have put your faith in the Lord Jesus Christ, and you no longer live for yourself, but you live for Christ, believing in him, walking in obedience to him as an obedient slave of your loving master, if that is you, Listen, nothing and no one can be against you. Do you understand that? Every minute detail in your life, the things you hate, you say, man, I wish I had more money. It seems like everything's against me. No, if you are a Christian, it's for you. You say, man, this tragedy, I lost my job, everything's against me. If you're a Christian, that's for you. Everything is for you. You're like, man, I got this disease. Listen, that's for you. Man, I lost my child. As painful as that is for you. Like, man, my vehicles, I keep having issues with my vehicles. I got into a wreck. I mean, I'm in the hospital. I mean, this, that. My family is being torn apart. I mean, there's a plethora of things, a lot of things it could be because we live in this simple world. And remember, Paul is talking to the Christians that are suffering, the Christians that are groaning. And he's just told them every detail in their life is working together for their good. And not just right now, from the time they were born until the time that they are glorified with Jesus Christ in the new heavens and new earth, every detail is working together for their good. And if that is true, what shall we say to that? If God is for us, who can be against us? Who? No one. Nothing can be against us. You know, often this verse is understood, well, if God is for us, it doesn't matter who's against us. No, that's not what he says. He says, if God is for us, who can be against us? It's a rhetorical question. A rhetorical question is a question where the answer is obvious. If God is for us, if you just understood what Paul taught, if God is for you and he's foreknew you, predestined you, called you, justified you, glorified you, it's all a package deal. All things are working together for your good. If God is for you in this way, who can be against you? No one can be against you. Listen, if someone walks into this room right now and pulls out a shotgun and shoots me in the head, he is my best friend. He just did me a favor. He just gave me a promotion. I'm no longer in this wicked world. I am now in the presence of Jesus Christ, the one I love. Remember back in verse 28, I told you in the Greek, it actually reads, to the one who loves God, all things work together for good. It pulls that up front. And you know, I love God. I love Christ more than anything this world has to offer. So no matter what happens to me, it may be painful. I don't want to leave my family. I mean, there's many things that I know God has me here for that very purpose. But guess what? If someone walked in and shot me, if someone tortured me for the next year, kept me that far from death the whole entire time, guess what? Everything he does is for my good. He is for me. He's not against me. He's for me. In a real sense, a Christian has no enemies. Do you know even Satan himself is only for you? If you live by faith in the Lord Jesus Christ, if you are a Christian, Satan is for you. You remember Job? Satan himself can only be for you. Listen, Christian, be encouraged, because if God is for you, who can be against you?